Okay, so I had a lot of fun with my last podcast, so I thought I would try it again. I just have so much to talk about, and it just helps me to just sort of talk about this stuff, even though no one really asked for it. I'm just gonna ramble into a microphone again, see what happens, and we'll go from here. So last time I mentioned that I might want to talk about PT or, Shenmue or something. And I think I am going to talk about that, but today I really want to talk about anime because, like, anime has always been a part of my life, but starting in 10th grade, I got really into it. Like, for a while, anime was, like, the only thing I would watch. I wouldn't watch any other TV show except for anime, and of course now I've branched out a little bit and I'm still into it. I don't watch it as much anymore. But with PT, I remember in 2014 I was on YouTube and I was just looking at all these people I was subscribed to at the time, and they're all posting these videos about something called PT, and I'm just like, what is this? I was like, Barry, what is it? And it freaked me out. Like, I think it freaked everyone out at the time, because no one really knew what it was at first. No one knew that it was Silent Hill. Well, Silent Hills. But, after I kind of figured it out, I talked to my brother. I'm like, have you heard of this? And he's like, yeah. And then he played it on, I believe, his PS4. And I was just watching him. And it was one of the first games where I was watching and I actually screamed for real. Like, it was horrifying because the graphics were just so groundbreaking at the time. Because I don't remember if Until Dawn came out, but I just think um, facial recognition in video games was just starting to become a big thing. Because before, you would have just, you know, what are they called? You would just have, like, I don't know. It would just be normal graphics, but then they started using facial recognition. Like, I think one of the first ones was LA Noire. I played LA Noire, and it was such a great game. And it's very sad, too. I don't think I'm gonna have to leave it for a few years. But anyway, facial recognition was becoming a thing, like in Until Dawn. I still haven't gotten a chance to play that, and I'm always bothering my brother to play Until Dawn. But I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But basically, I just think, of course, the graphics aren't everything in games. Like, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, these graphics are amazing, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I enjoy graphics, but more so I enjoy the story and the gameplay. But with PT, like, the fact that it was just so, like, overly realistic, it just made it so much scarier. Because when Lisa would pop up, it would just be like, whoa. And that's when I screamed. And I actually have a video I recorded back when I played it with my brother, and I never uploaded it, so I don't know if I ever will. But that summer, that was pretty much like, that's what made that summer, was playing PT. And it was just like, the fun of it was trying to figure out everything, trying to figure out all the secrets. And I think we were trying so hard to solve it, and we got to a point where we didn't know what to do, and we were just looking it up on YouTube and stuff. And um we eventually my brother eventually figured it out. And I think by that point we knew it was Silent Hills. But when we saw it, it was just so awesome, and our hopes were all raised. And I was like, yay! This is gonna. I remember now. It's all coming back to me. Remembering this, 2014 was gonna be the year of survival horror. That was gonna be the year It would be like when Resident Evil came out, because I think what was that one game called? Ooh, The Evil Within. The Evil Within was coming out, PT, um, the demo had just been released and Silent Hills was gonna come out. I believe I there's one more that I think came out. I think Revelations, Resident Evil Revelations may have come out at that time. But I know that it was going to be the year of survival horror and it was going to be awesome. But then all of our dreams and our childhood innocence came to a halt when basically the evil within it disappointed me. Like, it really did. Because it seemed so promising and it seemed like it was like actually a scary game. It wasn't gonna be one of those jump scare Slender Man. It actually had like the creepy aspect of like Resident Evil, the original ones, where it's just you feel all alone and it's not action like Dead Space. But it turned out that it was just difficult and it was actiony, to me at least. Like, I'm up to the part where basically you have to. I really don't remember, but it was this one, like, female boss thing that you have to, like, catch on fire, and I just can't beat it. And this is coming from someone where I played Dead Rising. My heart can only take it once a week. At least every Friday or Saturday, I play Dead Rising for, like, maybe 2 hours, and then I have a heart attack and I have to quit. Because Dead Rising is such a fun game. Like, oh my god. It's so hard, but it's so rewarding once you beat those bosses. I just beat the part where Carlito is driving his van through the garage and you have to get all 4 of the bombs. That was so difficult. But I hacked Carlito. I hacked the shit out of him, and then now I don't know what to do. So I'll keep playing, but I I can play Dead Rising without a problem most of the time. But when it comes to the evil within, it's just, I don't know, it just asks for so much because I just feel like there's too much going on and the bosses and the enemies are way overpowered. It's like an opposite game because I've heard that the beginning is really difficult, but as you move on it gets easier. And I'm like, how's that make any sense? So maybe one day I'll go back to it, but it just really disappointed me. And I didn't really bother looking up any of the sequel because I figure, I don't like the first one. I don't know if I'll like the second one. It's too fast-paced for me. Like, I feel like that it has no room to be scary or survival horror-y because you always have to just run and hope that you beat them. There's no real planning that you can do because they'll just overpower you. But that was one thing that kind of made the year of survival horror dwindle. And how I got that name, I remember it was a big joke with me and my brother, the year of Luigi. So we made it the year of survival horror, but it was becoming, we couldn't survive it anymore. But if I'm mistaken, disregard all of this, but with Resident Evil Revelations, it's okay. It's not the best. Now that I think of it, I don't know if it was 1 or 2. I know that there's another survival horror game coming out. I just can't remember what it was. But I remember I was really disappointed. Because Revelations 2 it was pretty much the evil within. And I never played it, but it looked super boring. Like, I know Barry Burden is in it, but I don't think that'll save it. It's like the evil within, where everything's overpowered, and it's not like the last one. I don't know. It looked more actiony, and I'm just gonna say it now. I really don't like action games. I mean, I'll play them sometimes, but I just don't like shooters. I can't play Call of Duty. Even I enjoy BioShock. I enjoyed the first BioShock because it's not always in your face, but BioShock Infinite was just, it seemed more of a shooter than the first one, and that just kind of turned me off. But I did beat it, and it, I love BioShock, but I just like the first one better because of the survival horror aspect. I feel like the second one isn't as scary and it's more action packed, but that doesn't make it a bad game. It's not my kind of genre, I guess. But I'm getting so off track right now. But yes, then it continued where that's when Konami kind of went crazy. Like I was always kind of neutral to Konami. I enjoyed Metal Gear Solid. I played Metal Gear Solid and it's fun. I'm still trying to figure it out to this day because I still haven't given it the attention it needs. But I started hearing that I think they fired Hideo, and then they kind of went to they made mobile games instead of actual games. I think they made Hideo pump out one more Metal Gear Solid and then canceled PT. And me and my brother were like, no. And for a while I was like, it's just a scheme. They want to get attention so more people want to buy the game. But it was true. PT was no more. PT phoned home and it went out the door. So, it was, I was very sad because that was the first game in a long time that was actually genuinely scary to me. And I was just so disappointed because it was supposed to be the year of survival horror, but instead it was the year of trying to survive the games that thought they were horror, but really, they suck. But now that, I sound like an idiot, but I don't remember what Hideo's new game is because you never hear it. He never really talks about it. It's like they're kind of keeping it a secret from us. Like, now I know that it's gonna come back to me, but, I'm like losing my mind right now. But basically, Hideo and Norman Reedus, or whatever the guy's name is, are gonna do a new game. And I watched E3 a couple years ago when it was announced. And it's interesting. It's like the trailers, I remember them kind of connecting with each other. But I honestly haven't heard anything from it lately. I kind of wish that maybe this E3 they'll talk about it. I don't know. A lot of games I'm just forgetting about because they just don't really mention them that much. Yeah, but the year of survival horror no longer existed after PT was gone. Okay. So kind of shifting from my awkward silence when I'm trying to think. I'm like one of those animatronic monkeys. The wheel isn't turning today, but next I want blah blah blah. I'll talk about Shenmue some other time because I don't know. I kind of want to talk about anime. But for me, I've been watching anime pretty much forever. And